Greetings and welcome to Cooking with Cindy. My name is Cindy Lorimer, and we are doing a Thanksgiving edition, especially for the holidays. Hopefully you will make one or two or all of these dishes, right? And have the same Thanksgiving menu that I will be having. So today we're gonna make my pan-fried Brussels sprouts with balsamic vinegar. So I am literally obsessed with this balsamic vinegar right here. I found it on Amazon. And I want to say this is the best balsamic vinegar I've ever had in my life. It's nice and thick and not like super thin. It's just the best. And having good balsamic vinegar in your recipe makes all the difference in the world. So I'm going to be using that today. But let's start off by cutting our Brussels sprouts. This recipe calls for 1.5 pounds of Brussels sprouts. So what I like to do with the Brussels sprouts is, in addition to obviously washing them, you're gonna cut the ends, right? And then you're gonna cut it in half, and then you're gonna peel and remove and discard the outer layer. And the reason why I want to cut the Brussels sprouts in half is because it actually cuts down the bitterness of the Brussels sprouts when you cook it. Who knew, right? You know, there are some Thanksgiving recipe dishes that you can certainly make ahead of time and freeze. This isn't one of them, right? So you wouldn't make this ahead of time and freeze it, nor would you make the haricot vert and caramelized shallots that I also have on my Thanksgiving menu. Those are best to be done, and plus they're so fast and easy to make. You can do it literally right before you serve your Thanksgiving dinner, and that's what I'm gonna do that day. Otherwise, the rest of the other dishes, I'm gonna freeze them. Like cream of corn, totally freeze that. Mashed potatoes, I can freeze that as well. This is very tedious. This is a task that I'm going to assign my kids on Thanksgiving Day to do because it is too time consuming for me. Or when my guest arrives, I'm going to assign it for them to do. 1.5 pounds doesn't go very far, does it? I'm going to thinly slice garlic cloves, 6 of them, lengthwise. Not super thin, but maybe 1/8 of an inch. Because if you slice them too thin, it's just gonna burn the garlic when you cook it. There you go, here's the width. So I have mentioned this before, I love using cast iron skillet, always. Especially when I'm sauteing vegetables or I'm searing meat, etc. So with a cast iron skillet, you're going to have to heat it up first. It'll take 4 to 5 minutes on medium-low heat. Get it going, get it nice and hot, and then you start cooking. So we're gonna wait a little bit. So it's been 5 minutes. My pan is nice and warm. You can tell, because you can just hover your hand over it. I'm gonna use 1/4 cup of avocado oil. I use avocado oil as my cooking oil. Grab my garlic. Add the Brussels sprouts. 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. I like a little kick in all of my dishes, so I'm going to do 1/4 teaspoon of red chili flakes. You can forgo this part. And 2 tablespoons of this delicious balsamic vinegar. Look at how thick and syrupy it is. Let's toss this. Wow, that smells so good. Now we add half a cup of vegetable broth if you want to make it vegan. Otherwise, you can do chicken broth, beef broth, whatever it is you want. I will now turn it on high, and then let's cook this untouched for 5 minutes. Tossing halfway. So halfway through, you're going to give it a toss. Okay, it's done. Let's give it another toss. And it's important not to constantly toss this because we left it untouched, right? And then look at how it's starting to brown like this. And then it's getting the balsamic vinegar, so it's creating a nice glaze for the Brussels sprouts. How beautiful is that? If you want to be really decadent, you can sprinkle some bacon bits in here, right? Or you can even add Parmesan cheese. I think it's time to do a taste test. When you cut the Brussels sprouts in half, it does not taste bitter at all. And what's nice is the balsamic vinegar, at least the brand that I use, has this sweetness to it. It is delicious and it's still crunchy and not soggy, but it's not undercooked. Absolutely delicious. If you like Brussels sprouts, you should give this recipe a try. If you think Brussels sprouts is too bitter for you, the more reason to give this recipe a try.